This game really got to me in a way. In fact, I was just buying groceries and going back, and I had to cross this pretty large road to come back to where I live, and I did only think about the game while doing so, and I thought about how I would approach today's recording session. And when I was almost inside my house, I asked myself, how did you cross that road? You can't remember how. I didn't wait for the green pedestrian signal, so I must have just walked across without really looking and without really paying attention to what I'm doing, basically. So I was wondering, maybe I got driven over and I didn't even realize. Now I'm dead and walking home because I'm so dead set on playing the game that I didn't even realize I died. Hello, this is Barani, and I'm playing Her Story again. And the game really made me think, and apparently not only me, but also Brett. He had some interesting theories about the whole thing. He's saying that in the 6 days that we talked to this mysterious lady, only on one day, which is I think the 30th of June, did we really talk to Hannah, and all the other days we were talking to Eve. Eve, you might see here, according to his theory, has the open hair, and Hannah has the closed hair. So this is the 30th. And Hannah's talking about Eve on the 30th all the time, but she's not saying that she's her sister. I think this is where she blames Eve for running away to the Bob Dylan concert. This is where she says she hates her sometimes. The story about her trying to kill her at the lake. Let's look at this one again.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Yeah, that makes sense. So she questions herself talking about Eve in a way that one might, if one would think that it's a bad idea because there is something to hide in any way, shape, or form. And this is where she says that let's look at this again.
My mother called me Eve.
So is this after the lawyer thing? It's probably right before 11:28. And this is 12:05. I'd like to talk to a lawyer now. So maybe she has confessed that she is Eve? What is this? This is 02:07. Let's just watch this, because let's just get into the thing and watch new clips and see how far it brings us. Well, there's one more thing I want to add. Do you know when you look at a screen and it is a little glossy and the light just reflects in the right way and you see a reflection of yourself in the screen? This is what the game is doing to us, right? It's showing us the picture of the reflection of a female face, and it's probably the guest, authenticated guest that we are, that is looking through these files, is basically probably Hannah or Eve, I would guess.
This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
So who's Doug and Eleanor? And the third day running. So she was there on the 30th, on the 1st, and on the 2nd. Okay, am I a suspect? And it's Eve. If I don't really buy the whole thing with Eve and Hannah, because how can you hide your twin sister knowingly? Because if it's true, then Hannah would know that Eve is her twin sister, and she would play this whole game her whole childhood. And Eve really lives in the attic, honestly, and comes out when Hannah is not there with the wig, so her parents think that she's Hannah. And then at some point Hannah is living with her boyfriend and his parents, and then Eve is at home a lot, so she can just be Hannah in a way. And what is Florence doing with all this? So I have a bunch of words written down. I want to first start off with victim, because I actually don't know. So who's actually the murder victim the whole investigation is circling around? How were we supposed to... Well, first of all... Oh, what is this? You can play a mini game here. I don't know how it works. Let's just keep that here. Hack... No. What the hell is this? One for the moms here. Classic 2-player strategy for lunchtime gaming. Enjoy. Well, this is basically the cracked version of Mirror game. Okay, that's not... Did the second player play? I don't think so. Are you supposed to play with yourself? I want to find one thing out. Which is, how do you look for sentences? Sandwiches. It wasn't here, I think. Multiple words. If you are in error, search for multiple robots in the workspace. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. Yes, I was there. I don't get that. What does that mean? Use inverted commas to search. Well, anyways, it's 7:45. Let's keep that in mind. So let's look for... Well, victim didn't do anything. Let me cross that off the list. Look for disorder, because I think she had eating disorder, and maybe she has different disorders. Well, there's nothing there. That is good to know. And I'm gonna look for baby, because... Oh, there's a bunch. This is Hannah on the 30th. No. Oh, it's a new day, isn't it? It's the 25th, and it's apparently Hannah, and this is the 27th. It's also a new day. Well, then let's start chronologically, shall we? This is all just in one... These are stringed together one long thing.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
Wedding night in Brighton. Oh man, I'm losing really. I don't know. So she's been saving up for the baby. She's already pregnant. In Brighton.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Okay, moved in with him. And this is time of hope. This is a positive thing. Nice change, so nothing negative.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Lost the baby. And she lived there a couple of months longer. So let's skip to 2 days later, and this is apparently Eve.
It was after dinner. I had spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Wow, I think I have to watch this again. This seems somehow crucial in many ways. Let's watch this again, okay?
It was after dinner. I had spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Okay, found the body. In the cellar, I guess? I don't know if this is important. This is... Well, I feel that it's important because, well, there has actually some meat on it, you know? Something that is maybe usable in front of a court or something. Because most of it is just, as she says in the beginning, stories. As she says in the beginning, at the end of all the actual interviews, it's just stories. But that seems like something really important.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Okay. This is weird. This is really weird. That's completely out of context. Keep the baby, shock to him. Shock to him. I don't know what that means. But still, if Pratt's theories are true, this is still Eve pretending she's Hannah. And so let's look for body. Start chronologically.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
The bruise. It just gets more and more mysterious with every clip that I watched. It's just...
His body. It didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear them.
Body looked unreal. No glasses? What the hell is going on here? What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest.
Okay, I had to restart the computer because of impending crash, doom, and loss of our recordings, which I avoided with rebooting, so let's watch that thing again, okay?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
That's pretty funny. So, Janeway, my cat, is just walking across my notes, and not only that, but she's purring against the microphone. Hey, what are you doing? Shh, shh. So, Fiddler Song. I have the feeling that this has some kind of context that might be useful to know, but I don't know how to look for that, actually. So, while we're at the body, edit with the body thing, let's watch the last body thing.
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Okay, this makes sense in the whole... Oh, my cat is biting cable. What the fuck is wrong with you, Jamie? This makes sense in the whole overarching thing, in this scheme of things, because she wants to have the exterior appearance of her sister so she can keep the ruse alive. Keep the ruse going on, as far as I understand. Wanted to get pregnant too, but she couldn't. This is why she slept with so many men, and... Well, I would assume that is when Hannah actually got pregnant, and she couldn't, so that's the big reason for her going all crazy in that department. Wow, so did I actually look for the word pregnant? No. Hell, how many, wow, are there? And this is a new day, isn't it? Oh no, it's 27th, and we were on that part already. 25th is apparently Hannah Day. Let's watch Hannah Day and Pregnant Day thing.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Yeah, look at the fucking reflection. If that isn't Hannah or Eve, I don't know who it is. I got pregnant. Arranged marriage. 2 days later.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Mm-hmm. So she's pregnant again? And is she, is her, is Hannah, is Eve, is any one of them, is either one of them, is what the hell?
No. Well, yes. You found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Is the police coming for you, Hannah? Are you sitting in the chair, unauthorized, as authorized guest? He found out on my birthday. Next one is just right after that.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Well, what the fuck's going on? What is she looking at? Is one big question I have in mind. Ah, that is weird. So, on the 27th, a lot of stuff happens actually that I deem more or less important. I don't know.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
I don't get that. Arrival at Glasgow. Car accident, hospital. I don't get it. So I have like honestly 35 words here that I want to look at, but I'm kind of always driven to go associative from the last information that I got to something that is related, maybe. So let's try out if that is bears any fruit in the end.
Ask the hospital.
Well, that wasn't helpful at all. Accident, maybe? Okay, this is on the 3rd.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Okay, so let's just assume that she has really offered her real identity. Told them already about Florence, and I guess she's talking about Florence in here, and how Florence took her home, and how Florence was her mother, and she died when she was 8. Wow. And maybe she even shoved her down the stairs. That's just a guess. I don't know. The music is also changing, so I don't know. Let's watch that last remaining hospital clip here.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
Oh, I get it. Her alibi, Glasgow hospital. But if she has a twin sister, one of them could have been in the hospital and the other one not. So who is actually pregnant? Well, no, let's look for alibi. Oh, this is my tag. Wow, that is convenient, okay.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
This sounds like an admission speech. She's admitting her guilt. And it sounds like they were in it together. It sounds like she and Hannah together planned the whole operation. Admission speech 1? Question mark? Let's watch that again.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently.
Okay, Hannah and her, I guess.
The baby was what mattered.
And who's pregnant? Whatever.
We helped each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Wow, that is pretty intense. So I'm going to check out 2 more, maybe 3 more words. Well, and then I'm going to talk you through my suspicions, and then I'm going to end the video here, I think, because it's already, I think, over 40 minutes, I don't know. So let's start with the mirror. Introduces herself. This is how she looks in the mirror, right? Simon's profession. Let's watch that again.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things.
I get it. So he probably made the window, the mirror. And this is where she's saying... What is she saying?
My name is Hannah. H-A...
Oh, it's a palindrome.
H. It's a palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea.
Well, this isn't... If that isn't symbolic, I don't know what is. All the mirror things. He's working on mirrors. Her name is a palindrome. Eve's name is a palindrome. It's all... no matter how you look at it, it's the same from every different angle. But it's not the same, because it's the other way around. It's like her and her sister. My mind is exploding still.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Mirror present for me.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Silver antique mirror. Well, maybe I want to have more than one more search query word. My English is pretty good today. I don't know yet. Weapon. What is she saying here that is weapon?
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Okay, get it. Let's look for watch. Oh, it starts at the very beginning. All right. Oh, that is interesting. Let's see how that unfolds.
He was wearing a shirt. A blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
I missed the last part because I wrote something down.
He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
So is maybe the body not yet found at this point? Body not yet found? I feel like I'm one of these crazy persons in movies and series that has this whole apartment full of handwritten notes and like little pins and strings attached from one to the other. And then she's sitting in the middle, or he, and losing his mind slowly but surely. So, watch, present from Eric, code, and something else that I forgot. This is a week later.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Okay, wedding, dance, just the two of us. No weird sisters, where she's probably getting at. 2 days later.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Oh, is it something like, oh, the watch stopped working around his time of death, so that's when he must have died, and that's when I wasn't there? Watch, alibi, reaction, something. Okay, so I will go through a couple more. Is this the part where she admits she's actually the sister? I don't know. So let's look for more Eric clips maybe. Or we could also just end the part here, because I feel like it's been going on for quite a long time. I don't feel like I have made such huge strides as in the first episode, but we're slowly but surely piecing together all the small pieces of the puzzle to gain a big picture. And I feel like maybe an hour more or something like that, and we'll have her by the balls. So, hey cat, tune in for the next episode when we play again for a story, alright? Bye bye.